So that's a problem. Not really refining your concept. That's a problem too with these movies. But as we say, there are worse examples of this.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, this was not the worst movie I've ever seen. So
No, by far, definitely not.
What would be counting nowadays if somebody would put a gun to your head and say, "What's the worst movie you've ever seen?"
the new Texas Chainsaw Massacre.
Verotica.
Erotica. Okay, that was kind of predictable.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think Billy secretly loves that movie though and watches it.
I hope you can't see my poster, can you?
Well, the Texas Chainsaw Massacre, you didn't care for that either, did you, Billy?
I haven't seen it yet.
I haven't seen it.
Yeah, no,
Carrie, what was your feeling about that?
It was horrible. It didn't look good. They didn't film it in Texas, and you could tell. And it didn't have the grain, the grit, and the dirty look that the original one had.
Yeah, I don't think you can copy that.
And they
Right,
didn't.
like I said before,
Well, you can copy.
I consider Grindhouse. I consider the Texas Chainsaw Massacre as the definitive Grindhouse film to me. Just the look, just the dirty look of it, the sweaty, hot. It's awesome.
Yeah, you can copy that look though. They just didn't do it.
Yeah, well, they're trying to please two masters, I guess. They want to please the people that are fans of the original film, and they're also trying to appeal to the audiences of today that don't care about that film so
Right?
much.
Yeah. People that watch it and think, "Oh, that's not scary at all."
Once I heard that line in the movie, "You gonna get canceled, bro?" and I'm like, okay, this might not be good.
It's a little too up to date for your taste.
Yeah, it's too low up to date for me.
Yeah, and everybody's out there defending it like it's the but they're defending it for the wrong reason. They think, "Oh yeah, it's not any good, but it has really good gore," and I'm like, "Well, that doesn't make it a good movie."
Is it actual gore or is it CGI gore?
It's CGI, but there's like a decent amount of it, but that doesn't make a good movie. Then they basically then it's just torture porn or gore porn. No storyline, but you got gore scenes.
Well, one of the things about the original Texas Chainsaw Massacre is every aspect of it, the look of it and everything, was just the way it turned out. I mean, there were talented people working on it, but the type of film they were using, the place they were shooting, all of those things came together to produce what we see. And the way they make movies now, everything's artificial, right? Whatever atmosphere, whatever look it has, it's been imposed on it in the computer.
Yeah.
It's just not the same thing, right? The fellow who did Red Rocket, is that the name of the movie with the old DJ from MTV?
I know what you're talking about. I can't think of the guy's name though. Yeah.
What is his name? Anyway, that's being very well received. The director, I can't remember his name. Very talented guy. He did Tangerine, which was also very highly praised.
Oh, Sean Baker.
Right. Yes, and he shot Tangerine on an iPhone. So
Tangerine's a great movie.
And the look of it is an important part of what makes it work, right? Because you really get the feeling that you're there. Yeah. So he seems to have figured out. He did with Red Rocket. Apparently, he shot it in Super 16 or one of the gauges of 16 millimeter film. So it has a very highly textured look to it, and it creates exactly the feel that you're talking about in Texas Chainsaw. It's like the film itself has a palpable feel to it, a texture to it.
Simon Rex is the guy that you're thinking
Simon
of.
Rex,
the actor.
yes.
Yeah.
And I guess the idea there was to try to create a movie that looked really real, but also sort of grungy and dirty, and but it's real grit, true grit, so to speak.
Yeah.
As opposed to the sort of false grit that they put on movies a lot of times to make it look,
like the movie, like the Tarantino and Rodriguez movie Grindhouse.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, they've done it with the I don't know if they still do it because I don't watch it anymore. But under the first couple of seasons of Walking Dead, had that digital grain added to it, and it didn't look good at all.
Well, I don't know. I mean, it's a real quandary that they find themselves in because they want to make movies for like $50 million, $100 million, and they're using equipment that isn't, it's better, of course, but it's not significantly better than what the average person can do on their smartphone. So what do they do to make the movie look accessible to the audience, make it look like something that people will accept as reality, but at the same time give it some sort of gloss, so it's something like there's value added there. It's a Hollywood movie, right?
Yeah.
And I guess that one of the things they do is playing with the color and putting all sorts of tints and things on the film, or adding a lot of CGI stuff in, or darkening the picture. That's another one that we've talked about, how everything looks so fucking dark these days.
Yeah.
They want to try to avoid the video look, so they make everything as dark as possible. But I remember seeing movies in theaters back in the 70s. They didn't look like that. They were bright and colorful.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know where that leaves us. Does it leave us anywhere? Is there no hope?
There's got to be. Somebody eventually is going to wake up and stop making.
If this Baker guy, somebody has to combine that sensibility of, using different formats to create a certain feel. They have to combine that with somebody who has a really good idea for a horror film, a new idea, hopefully.
Yeah.
Not just a retread of stuff that's been done 1,000 times before.
Yeah, I don't think Tarantino's gone to digital yet. He's still filming on.
That's right. Yeah.
Actual film.
Yeah.
Spielberg and Tarantino and a couple others, Christopher Nolan. They're sticking with film.
Even though it costs more. But...
Yeah, because I wonder sometimes if that really makes any difference now, because the film ends up going into the computer anyway, so they can still go too far with the processing,
Yeah.
And it gets particularly complicated when we start talking about things like IMAX. I don't know if there's an IMAX equivalent of IMAX film, not a digital video IMAX equivalent of IMAX film. And the IMAX film is like 70 millimeter film or larger.
Yeah, 77 or something like that. Yeah.
Are they still, when they shoot a movie in IMAX, are they still shooting it in that film, or are they shooting it in like the digital equivalent of that?
That I don't know.
I don't know either.